Right, it's Wednesday, super stock race day. We have a warm-up lap which I'm going out on the super bike, which is a good opportunity. We're again trying something else, another setting with the bike, but also I'll get my eye in for course conditions. It's pretty windy still, but we've had a fair bit of blue sky, so the track should be fairly good compared to yesterday anyway. And then 2 o'clock this afternoon we've got the super stock race, 3 laps, and I don't know, I feel like the more of these I do, the more nervous I get. It seems to be, I don't know, but I'm seeing that as a good thing. It's, I feel I'm more nervous than, maybe I have a bit more confidence, but we'll see. It's just, all I know is that it's going to be very hard 3 laps and a fast 3 laps. So I've got to go and grab my helmet. I've had some visors prepped with more tear-offs. I've gone for like a clearer visor because if the damp, it would just help me spot the damp sections and spot anything I may need. And there's not bright sun today, so visibility shouldn't be an issue. I just need it clear and see what the tarmac's like under the trees. So that's it really. I will check back in after the race and hopefully some good news. Let's see how we go.
Oh, I know, kill that in the morning, isn't it? Yeah, I know. It's sort of going back in gym, I think.
Made any changes or anything, or is it just
a couple of little changes from the super bike race, so just over the way. It's a bit windy this morning, so it's not going to be the best test. You can see it there. It's. We'll see.
It's fresh. It was quite cold in the campers last night. We do have heaters. We're not that restricted. It's windy today. We're going to do 1 lap on the super bike this morning. We did a few bits after the race the other day, so we'll probably only get this 1 lap now before we go out in the senior race on Saturday. The weather's not playing ball at the moment, so we're just sort of playing it all by ear. I think today will go as planned, but I don't know about tomorrow. So we'll get as much as we can in today. We'll do 1 lap this morning, super bike, get that done and dusted, it's ready to race in the senior. And then this afternoon, after the twin races, the Superstock race, 3-lapper. It's a day later, but still the 3 laps as was planned originally. So hopefully, as long as the wind doesn't get too high, we'll get that race in and see where we end up at the end of the day. Hopefully it's a good race. James is quite happy with that bike. It's a little bit more evenly matched in the stock race. We do run a stock style bike in the super bike race, so when we go into the stock race, all the other bikes are standard engines, so it should give us a little bit more of an opportunity to hopefully reach the podium. But we'll wait and see. Anything can happen, so it's a waiting game now until the start, and then 3 laps of well, fun for James hopefully, and then we'll see what happens at the end.
This is almost like a bit of a tiger balm, like a muscle balm. I've been struggling more on the big bike with a little bit of arm pump, so this in the past has helped. So I'm just trying to like preempt a little bit and resolve a problem before it becomes a problem. But I need to be careful because it's quite potent, and I don't want to like get it on my fingers and I have it off my fingers and rub it on my face. So or touch anywhere else that might make it a bit interesting. So, but it's makes your eyes water a little bit, and I don't know. But I just do every little thing I can that might help. I try to do, and then that's it really. Just see. That's all you can do. But they're just saying it's spitting with rain, so my body's going to be buzzing. I've had like my energy drinks and electrolytes, so hopefully it's just a small shower and nothing too that's going to hold the job up, screw up my kind of pre-race fueling and body prep, because it's I like peak and then crash later on when I don't want to be crashing. So if I start peaking, I need to try and stay high and ready, if that makes sense. So it helped earlier though, having the warm-up lap, just to kind of wake the brain up a little bit. It's hard here, there's no kind of mental preparation. You can do laps in your head, I suppose, or watch a YouTube lap, but you can stretch your body, but there's nothing quite to wake your brain up for the precision minuscule or millisecond kind of reactions you require to turn the bike and hit certain apexes and things. That's quite critical, but that's another unique aspect of this event, I suppose. So yeah, so we should be half an hour away from race start. So hopefully, if there's any changes, they make a call shortly, and we'll know about it, and I can try and sort myself out so I'm not too revved up when I don't need to be. So this is my most visited site during this week. This is the webcam up on the mountain section, the bungalow section, but that is absolutely saturated up there. There's no way it will be. Some rain, more rain at 4 or 5, not a lot, but here we go.
Just had a very heavy shower on the west side of the course and across the mountain. So just bear with us a minute whilst we get some weather reports in, and we'll come back with some updates in a short while. Control out. Well,
There you go.
I mean, I'll stay half ready. I'll keep my undersuit on and just see, but that don't look good to me. I don't think we'll be. I can't see that going, if I'm honest. Yeah, but from my years of experience, it don't look too clever up there. So they haven't called it yet officially, but there's no way, if it's wet and raining at Glen Helen, then I can't even see us going today, because it won't dry in. There's not a chance it'll dry this before this evening, so it looks like another day off. Well, not a day off, is it? But another day of no racing. Right, well, no racing with this rain, this pour down we just had, and the damage is done. Of course, they've cancelled today's racing. So I'm going to jump over, and I bought the bike. I've sold the bike, but the new owner kindly let me borrow it to bring here and put on show to raise some awareness and try and gain a bit of sponsorship, I suppose, to go back to Dakar next year in January 25. And we've had it on display in the awning here at the WTF tent, and it's got quite a lot of attention actually. I think people have found quite a bit of interest in, not a bike you see up close very often, because they're either on telly or there's not many of these about. They're quite rare, to be honest. So this is the Gas 450 that I finished the 23 Dakar on by myself in the Malay Moto, or the original bimotor class. And fairly as it finished, to be honest. We replaced some graphics, like just here where my legs kind of rubbed off. It didn't look too pretty, and the fuel. It's a problem with these fuel tanks is they kind of fuel sweats through the paint and the tank and lifts the graphics. So not a lot we can do about that. But yeah, really, I have quite a connection with this bike. It's we've been through a lot. We went through a lot of some amazing times and some very dark times, but and I genuinely have enjoyed explaining questions on this bike. There's, as I say, it's not something you see that often, and I think there are quite a lot of Dakar or people interested in the whole Dakar event. So it's so a brief summary on the bike. This is a 2023 model, 450 single cylinder trellis frame. I think they only make like 75 of these between KTM, Husqvarna and Gas. They're all the same really, bar the colour of the frame and the yokes or triple clamps. 3 fuel tanks. I've one, the rear subframe is a fuel tank itself, and then 2 at the front which are linked at the bottom. 2 fuel pumps which I switch kind of tanks. I switch up here on the bar. 32 litre capacity. It weighs about 100 just over 160 kilos with fuel, probably a little bit more actually with mousses in, but we don't run tubes at the rally because it's not a place to be getting a puncture, although they add a bit of weight and probably the worst weight possible. A spinning mass weight in a tyre isn't great, but that compromises not getting a puncture, so it's worth putting up with. The seat, I mean, they're not the most comfortable things. Sometimes we'll be doing 10 hours a day and you're sat on that, which isn't they're not built particularly for comfort, but under the seat here we have the air filter and a small bit of storage for some tools, and also access to all the fuses, quick access in case there's any issues electronically, which I didn't have fortunately, but this was something we'd do. We run like a hairnet over the air filter to stop the sand penetrating or grit, but generally changing the air filter every day, or at least the sock over the air filter, just to keep her running sweet, and the oil and filter every other day. But I would generally, the oil was supplied by Motul, so I would do oil every day, just for keep her sweet really. It probably wasn't always necessary, but yeah, I just really tried to nurse her and keep it as sweet as possible to improve or increase all chance of getting to the finish line. So a little steering damper tucked in under here, which is actually someone's been fiddling with that. I think it's quite turned up at the moment, but just relieves the arms a little bit in the heavy sand or high speed sections when the front's sort of kicking and snatching a little bit, to conserve a little bit of energy. I mean, it is fairly original, to be honest, of how it crossed the line. Literally, bar these graphics, a few hours of cleaning. Pleased of how nice and clean the exhaust stayed. I was a bit concerned when I got the bike that this wouldn't look like this at the end, but yeah, I'm pleased with how that's retained its original form, and there's a few small scratches, but yeah, it's nice to have kept that sweet. But yeah, that's it really. If you haven't already and are interested, on the YouTube channel last year there's a whole series of like a Dakar diary series to check out. So there's I go into quite a bit more detail on there, and you can if you've got time or fancy, you can watch some of those and witness me suffering what I put myself through. But the plan is to go back again next year with WTF Racing. They've bought a truck which is all the kind of ball starts rolling, I suppose, after TT. It's Project Dakar 25 start. So anyone watching this interested to get involved with I suppose sponsorship commercially, the plan is to go back with the team, as I say, and a mechanic to help, but do a similar docu-series like we've done here at TT to capture the Dakar and I suppose share it, and just to get across. And it's hard to show, I think, just how tough that event is. So I would like to go back and with a good crew, and you find yourself Dario, who's holding the camera at the minute. Would be great to capture just what goes on there and share it, I suppose. So yeah, get in touch, comment or message, and we can perhaps put an email in the comments to get in touch. It's a big project, but if we don't try, you never know, do you? So that's the goal, is to be back there in January, and another holiday in Saudi Arabia for 2.5 weeks. So we'll see, watch this space, but Well, I hope you've enjoyed a little look around this. Be sure to check out the other videos of my Dakar experience. We're waiting now for a schedule here at TT for tomorrow's races. They obviously put everything back, so it's likely I'm going to have a super stock and super sport race tomorrow. Plus they need to fit the sidecar race in, so yeah, it's in the hands of the guys up there to see, and I suppose the rain guy, see what the weather's bringing tomorrow. But yeah, let's see what comes. But we'll be ready. The bikes are ready. Team's ready. So it's another early-ish dinner, and see what tomorrow brings.